Welcome in to our final edition of the In the Money podcast for 2016. I'm Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Kingman's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting. And, Jim, we will take a look at three graded stakes races on the Santa Anita card for Saturday, December 31st. And it's headlined by a Grade 1, the American Oaks, a race that used to be run in the summertime. We'll start out, though, in the third race. It's the Grade 3 Midnight Loot for 3-year-olds and up, going 6.5 furlongs. And a small field here, pretty well matched. Who did you land on?
I couldn't toss out anybody here out of five. I think Navy Hymn probably is going to be my choice because of the 5-for-7 record for him at Santa Anita. Had 5 wins in a row last summer. Bejarano comes back to ride, and he was riding on most of his wins. But I can make a case for St. Joe Bay, the 3, with a 104 buyer last time out. But he's only 1 for 7 with 4 seconds to Santa Anita. So one of my favorite things is try to key a horse that's getting bet second. So sometimes horses that like to run seconds repeat that habit. Not been able to break through in a stakes race either. Tough Sunday, the 1, improved substantially last out at Lost Al, winning by 6 lengths. That was a $40,000 optional claimer, but only has 3 lifetime wins. I can also make a case for Jimmy Bouncer, the 5, 2 for 2 at Santa Anita, but it looks like he's better on turf. So Navy Hymn is my choice here, but I think if you're playing pick threes in this race, you probably ought to use pretty much everybody, because the only one I didn't mention was Solid Wager, and all he did last time out was win a $100,000 stakes race at Del Mar at 7 furlongs. So not much help with narrowing it down there, but Navy Hymn would be my choice in this small field.
Yeah, I ended up on the same one, not only 5 of 7 at Santa Anita, but he's just won 6 races in his career, and 5 of those wins at Santa Anita. And Baltus has good numbers off this kind of a short freshening. So the 4 Navy Hymn was mine as well. The 1 and the 5 were the 2 I'm taking with him in exactas, Tough Sunday and Jimmy Bouncer. But like you, I think I'd have to maybe take the whole bunch if you're doing multi-race wagers, because there should be no standout here. Fourth race, the Grade 3 Robert J. Frankel for fillies and mares, 3 and up, going 1 mile and an eighth. And I took a swing with Sweet Cherry, the 1, coming into Sadler's Barn, getting first-time Lasix coming in from Europe, 2 straight wins. And I'm thinking, they haven't been in high-class company, but this is a 3-year-old filly that is obviously in good form. They pick up Mike Smith in the saddle. So it just looks like all signs are pointing to, okay, this horse has maybe gotten even better than we thought. Let's ship her over to the States and run for some bigger purses now that she's in top form. So I'm going to take a shot with the 1 Sweet Charity, the 4 Arliss, the 8 into the Mystic are the other 2 that I like in here. But Sweet Charity is going to be the win play and the key in the exactas for me. How about you?
It's an interesting race with a lot of horses who have either European form or, I don't know if that's a word, Peruvian form. A couple of horses coming out of Peru and Argentina. So it's a really interesting turf race here. I landed on, I think you pronounce it, my wife told me anyway, you pronounce it Arl, the French horse. And in French, the ES is silent, apparently. I don't know that for sure, but that's what she said. I'm taking her word for it.
We'll go with that.
So Arl finished second in her only 2 starts in the States, but that was Grade 3 Glen Falls at Saratoga, and then the Grade 3 Red Carpet at Del Mar. So I really like those 2 efforts, and if she repeats those, she'll be tough to handle in motion, gets them ready. And hadn't seen Santa Anita, but very consistent in her time form ratings overseas. And so I'm going to take not a shot. I think she's probably going to be one of the favorites here. Ryan's Charm, the 6, exits the Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf, and that's one of the Peruvian horses. Was 51-1, only got beat by Queen's Trust and Lady Eli by a little over 4 lengths, and those 2 horses will be odds on in here. Carrie Bell, the 2, is another one that I took a look at. Simply, John Sharif's is a great trainer, and she's 2 for 6 at Santa Anita. The Grade 1 Rodeo Drive, the last time she ran at Santa Anita, she only got beat by 2 lengths to Avenge. And so Carrie Bell would be my third choice in here. I can make a case for your 1 horse, too, coming off the races in France. It's another wide-open race and a very good betting race, and at least this one has a little bit bigger field, but Arl is my choice here.
Gets us to the Grade 1 American Oaks for 3-year-old fillies on the turf at 1.25 miles. It's the 8th race on their card, and this is a race, I think the best betting race, because you've got a big full field, no real standout in here. So if you can be on the right ones, you're going to get, I think, rewarded for it. But a tough handicapping challenge. Where did you land?
Yeah, a lot of these fillies have run against each other, and they've beaten each other. So you go back and look at the black type in the PPs, Decked Out, Mocat, Lady Velour, Chickaboo, She's a Milky Way, and Stays in Vegas. All those horses have run against each other at one time or another. Barley Sugar also, I think, falls into that category. So you got some history here to go on. I'm going to go with Stays in Vegas too. I think that effort in the Matriarch last out at Del Mar, after she came over and ran the QE2 at Keeneland and didn't run that well. Of course, she was up against Time and Motion, Harmonize. A lot of other good fillies in there. But the Matriarch was a good effort. Only got beat by a head to Miss Temple City, who came back and won the Breeders' who won the Breeders' Cup before this. So Miss Temple City is no slouch as a 3-year-old filly, and Stays in Vegas only got beat by a head to her. So she's one of our local favorites. I'm going to take Stays in Vegas because of that effort. Sassy Little Lila, the 6, ships in from New York for Red Hot trainer Brad Cox, who seems like he's been winning everywhere. Mocat, the 13, don't like the post position, but the Uncle Mo filly could draw a good trip from out there. She didn't have to get anywhere close to the lead anyway, so that may not kill her. Decked Out, the 7, almost won the Grade 1 Del Mar Oaks this summer, so she's right there in the class. But look at those horses that ran against each other. If you can get a pattern out of those, maybe you can decipher this race. And I can make a case for some others in here as well. But Stays in Vegas to 2 would be my choice in the American Oaks.
Those are 4 of the horses that I have on my list as ones to use in exactas with the top pick. And I think because this is wide open, if your budget allows, I'd even play like a 5-horse box here of these ones I'm going to mention, the 4 that you just ticked off. And the other one that is going to be my win pick, taking, again, a little bit of a swing here on a Euro Invader, Queen Blossom, the 8. It's Graham Motion, who does really well. I think wins at 23% for the first time in this country. And this is a Team Valor horse, so they do a nice job of picking out talent overseas and bringing it to the States. And these 2 connections teamed up on Animal Kingdom. This horse got first Lasix and competed in group races in Europe last couple of starts, or 2 of the last 3, I think. So I think there's a little bit of class there for Queen Blossom, and I'm not real convinced on any of the others. I don't see a standout, so I'm going to take a little bit of a swing for maybe a price here with Queen Blossom. Decked Out with all those Grade 1s, certainly merits a lot of respect. You make a great point about Cox and Sassy Little Lila. That one high on my list. Stays in Vegas, and then Mocat. And I wasn't wild about the post, but you make a good point there with the way you're going 1.25 miles. That may not be as big of an issue, and that's a horse that has some back class as well. So Queen Blossom is going to be my win pick, and the other ones for the exacta are the 2, 6, 7, and 13. And if you can afford it, I'd take all 5 in the late pick 4, because I think any of the 5 is certainly capable of getting to the winner's circle in the Grade 1 American Oaks. That will do it for this edition of the In the Money podcast. We wish you good luck with your plays on Saturday, finishing up the year with a bang, and then hopefully rolling into a profitable 2017. And we'll be getting into some of the big races at Gulfstream here in the coming weeks, and the fairgrounds as well on the road to the Kentucky Derby. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. Happy New Year from the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.